Let's discuss order of operation. So in math, operation means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent, square root, and absolute value. So in case you are wondering what absolute value is making a number positive. So let's say I have a negative quantity. So let's say negative 10, and I add an absolute value. Absolute value is 2 bar. So this is called absolute value. The absolute value of negative 10, you just make the negative 10 positive. So what if you have an absolute value of a positive quantity? Then that just positive. The absolute value of 0 is equals to 0, and then square root is, so let's say you have the square root of 16. 16 is equals to 4 times 4. You are able to write 16 as two identical products, so that is just equals to 4. And then exponent, so let's say you have a 2, you raise that to the third power, the 3 is exponent, so that is 2 times 2 times 2, which is equals to 8. And then the other four words, add, subtract, multiply, divide, you know what it is. So what is order of operation? Order of operation, the easiest way to memorize it is Pemdas. So what is Pemdas? The P, so look at the first screenshot, the P stands for parentheses first. So if you see operations inside parentheses, take care of those first. And then E stands for exponent, power, square root, absolute value, and etc. And then MD, M stands for multiplication, and then division. The lowest priority is addition and subtraction. So how do we use that? So let's say we have a expression like this. So in A, we have a 10 plus 2 times 3 square plus 5 minus 7, and then divided by 2. Which operation should I go first? Should I go from left to right? Should I go from right to left? Should I start with operation inside parentheses? So that is the question, right? So according to Pemdas, we have to work with operations inside parentheses first. And then inside parentheses, we have 2 times 3 square. So 3 square is basically 3 times 3, right? So we draw an equal. Please start with an equal. So that tells me you are starting a line. So 10 plus, so 3 times 3 is 9, right? And then plus 5 minus 7 divided by 2. And then 10 plus 2 times 9 is 18. Plus 5 minus 7 divided by 2. So plus and minus, we go from left to right. And then some people make a big jump. They say, all right. So we add 5 to it, right? Then we add 5 to it. We get a 23. And then 23 minus 7 is equals to 16, right? So can we just do it in one step? Because I can do this on top of my head. Sure, you can just do 18 plus 5 on your head. So 18 plus 5, that is equals to 23. And then on top of your head, you subtract 7. Then inside the parenthesis, that gives you a 16. And then divided by 2. Should I just add the 10 and 16? No. We have plus and division. Division has higher priority, so you do division first. So 16 divided by 2 is equals to 8, and then you add them. 10 plus 8 is equals to 18. So that's how the order of operation works. So let's take a look at B. Let's switch color for each problem. So for B, eventually I will keep going down, so you won't see this set of problem anymore. So if you wish, now is a good time to take a screenshot, so you can work this problem yourself first, and then pause the video, work that out yourself first, and then you resume to the videos and then check out how I do it. And then B, we have 2 plus 3 plus the square root of 36 divided by 3 times 10 minus 30. So 2 plus 3 is in parentheses, so 2 plus 3 goes first, that is 5. So 5, you will add the square root of 36, right? Divided by 3 times 10 minus 30. So we are not going to do add because square root has higher priority. The square root of 36 is equals to 6. And then you copy the rest. So from left to right, division has higher priority, so we do 6 divided by 3 is equals to 2. And then multiply by 10 minus 30. 2 times 10 is equals to 20, and then minus 30. So you have 5 plus 20. 5 plus 20 is 25. 25 minus 30, you have negative 5. So the answer is negative 5. So when you do this, every instructor expect you to do it step by step, and you always start a line with equal, and after you are done, box the final answer. All right. Next one, we have C. C is negative 14 minus 90 divided by 5 plus 4 times 3 divided by 6. So we have two parentheses. We can do them simultaneously. Negative 14 minus 90 divided by 5 plus 4 is equals to 9. Actually, I don't need the parenthesis. 9 and then times 3 divided by 6 is 1/2 or 0.5. So you have negative 14 minus 90. The next step is you have 9 times 5 times 0.5, right? So half of 9 is 4.5. So you actually divide by 4.5. So from left to right, which one should I do first? I am supposed to do a division first, right? So we have negative 90 divided by 4.5. So that is negative 14 minus 90 divided by 4.5 is 20. And then negative 14 minus 20, that is equals to negative 34. Oh, you know what? Did I do this too fast? Okay, actually that is my mistakes. Should I erase the mistake? Let me just do a correction right here. This is supposed to go from left to right, right? But I did this one first. All right, let's just go from left to right. So C, I'm going to use red to correct myself. So starting right here, we have negative 14 minus 90 divided by 9 is equals to 10. And then 10, you multiply 0.5. So 10 multiplied by 0.5 is equals to negative 90 divided by 9 and then multiply by 4.5. Half of 10 is 5. So we have negative 14 minus 5. That is equals to negative 19. This is right and then this is wrong. How's that? All right, moving on to part D. So part D, switch to another color. So part D, let's use yellow. So part D, we have the square root of 49 minus 2 to the third minus 7 divided by 2. So first we take care of the square root of 49, that is equals to 7. And then what about 2 to the third? 2 to the third is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So we have 7 minus 8 equals to negative 1. Negative 1 minus 7 equals to negative 8, right? And then divided by 2, negative 8 divided by 2 is equals to negative 4. And then you box your final answer. And then the next one is part D, and then we have part E. So part E, we have 5 divided by 4 plus 2 minus 10 times 3. And then 5 divided by, so first we have this is called a square bracket. Sometimes we call that a big parenthesis. All right, big parenthesis. So that means we have to take care of the small parenthesis first. So 2 minus 10 times 3, the 10 times 3 has higher priority. So that is 4 plus 2 minus 30. All right, and then 2 minus 30 is negative 28, right? So we have 4 plus negative 28. Do you still remember how to do this? Plus and minus becomes a minus, right? So that is actually a 4 minus 28. That is equals to negative 24, right? So you have 5 divided by negative 24. So, and one of the ways to write this is you write a negative right here and then 5 divided by 24. So that is one of the ways to write that, and then you take 5 divided by 24. So, and then I ask you to round this to 4 decimal places, right? So that is approximately equals to negative 0.2083. And I will box both as my final answer. All right. So that is part E, and then we have part F. Switch color again. Let's use red. So part F, we have a square bracket, 10 square minus the square root of 25 divided by 5, and then minus 2 to the third minus 3 square. So 10 square, and then the square root of 25, you can do that simultaneously. 10 square is equals to 100. The square root of 25 is equals to 5. And then you divide it by 5. This one is in another parenthesis, right? So you can do this in the meantime. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 9, right? So this is 95 divided by 5. And then minus 8 minus 9 is negative 1. So you are subtracting negative 1. Subtracting negative 1 means you add 1 to it. So 95 divided by 5 is equals to 19. So we have 19 minus negative 1. So how do we interpret this in words? So let's say you have $19. All right. I am going to the minus. This minus means take away. You have $19. I am going to take away your $1 debt. You owe someone $1. You have 19. I am going to take that debt away from you. So now you will actually have $20. So minus minus becomes a plus. 19 plus 1 is equals to 20. And then part G, switch color again. Part G, we have a 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 7 divided by 4. So which operation goes first? You do the top first, right? So 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 7. The sum is equals to 18, and then you have 18 divided by 4. So you take 18 divided by 4. That is exactly equals to 4.5. All right, and then part H. Part H, you have 1 minus 4 plus 2 times 5 minus 3 times 7. So on top, who has higher priority? The multiplication, right? So the multiplication has higher priority. So 2 parenthesis 5 means 2 times 5. And then the 3.7, these dot big dots, these represent multiplication. So they both have equal priority. We can do those simultaneously. So we have 1 minus 4 plus 2 times 5 minus 3 times 7 is 21. And then a plus 2 is equals to 10. So 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 10 is equals to 7, and then 7 minus 21 is equals to negative 14, and then divided by 10. So this is one of the ways to write your final answer, and then we can reduce this fraction as long as we divide top and bottom by 2. So when you write a negative fraction, you can put the negative sign right there. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 5 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So this is your answer. You just reduce your fraction. And then if you want approximation, 7 divided by 5 is 1.4. So that is equals to negative 1.4. I've just shown all of them on my paper. And then the next one, part I. So part I, you have 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 divided by 2 times 3 times 4. So this one, the top and bottom, they are all multiplication. So we can do some simplification. So first, let's try to simplify the 10 and 2. So 2 divide top and bottom by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5, right? And then we can simplify the 9. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then we can simplify the 8. So for the 8, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So you have 5 times 3 times 2 times 7. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 double that, you have 30. 30 times 7, you have 210. So that is equals to 210. Or you just multiply the top. 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. If you do that, you have 50 40. And then the 2 times 3 times 4, that gives you a 24. You take the top divided by the bottom, you have 210 as well. All right. The last one. The last one is part J. So in part J, you have 7 minus 4 square divided by 8 minus 1. And then you add 15 minus 7 square divided by 6 plus 7. So 7 minus 4 is equals to 3. So we have 3 square divided by 8 minus 1 is 7. Plus 15 minus 7 is 8. We have 8 square. And then 6 plus 7 is equals to 12. And then we square the 3. 9 divided by 7. And then plus we square the 8. 64. Divided by 12. So this one they are not in a common denominator. So but we are not trying to discuss common denominator in this lesson. I want you to approximate each of this. So that means I want you to approximate each fraction individually, and then you add them. So 9 divided by 7. That is around 1.2857. And then the 64 divided by 12, 64 divided by 12, that is approximately equals to 5.3333. So at this point, this links to the next example. At this point, we already make 2 roundings, right? So every time you round, the answer is less accurate. 9 divided by 7, if you do this in your calculator, what I see on my calculator is that it's approximately equal to 1.285714,286. But I round this to 2857. So that means I lost some accuracy, right? Every time you round, you use fewer digits, you lost some accuracy. That's how the rounding works. Every time if you round that to 1.3, you lost more accuracy, right? So if every time you round, you lost some accuracy, the more you round, the less accurate the answer is, right? So since we already round twice, so we just accumulate 2 round off error. Now let's add them. 1.2857 plus 5.3333, that is equals to 6.619. So that is my final answer. How do we avoid this round off error? To avoid this round off error, I prefer to do the entire operations in using one step, and then we do this in our calculator. In statistics, you need to know how to do a long operations or in one step in your calculator, because we want to avoid round off error. So regarding that matter, we will discuss that in the next example. So now that's all in this part. So if you think my instruction is helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate your help really much. I see you all in the next one.